Before I even start my day off, I just got dropped off at my car. The guy who helped me the other day when I couldn't get it to start, he helped me get it started. And he offered, like, oh, I have this RV you can stay at. And just, I was like, I gotta be real cautious when it comes to that, especially being a woman out here. And so I just slept in my car, like I didn't go. And then yesterday he was kind of being persistent, and I was like, I don't know, sometimes people be giving off you're a little too eager for me to come to this, RV. Like, I've come across this so many times. People act like they're gonna help. This is like, just like the dark side of people that people don't talk about, and I run across it all the time. So I'm like, no, like this time I'm gonna share it because I've come across this too many times, and I'm tired of living in this so-called world that you entities create. I'm like, you got me messed up. So he like kept insisting, like, you're gonna be good. I'm like, man, I gotta be careful. Like, I'm a girl and I gotta worry about my safety. And he just kept assuring me, like, you're fine. I was raised different. Like, I'm not like that. I'm respectful. The same. I mean, if you all don't have a freaking book that you go by, it's like you all sound like the same. No, we are okay. The hell. But I'm like, all right. Like, I get a shower, stay in a place. That's cool. Oh, as you can see, I got like barely any sleep. Um, the whole time we're talking, like talking about eating right, health, like good conversations. He wants to, I want to go vegetarian. I want to, like all positive stuff. I want to do that. Like, I want to be healthier. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Like, we just stay there talking, and the hot water wasn't working. It was cold, so I could barely even shower. I mean, but still, I was like grateful that I got to, at least do a cold bird bath. It's better than nothing, but it takes a lot of patience for me to not just uproar and explode on people. Like, I'm just truly disgusted at how people operate. Um, and I mean, like, everything was cool. Reassured that I'm not a freaking hoe. I don't get down like that. Like, I've been single in my own space for years. Like, it was established, like, oh, it's cool, we can be opposite sex and be around each other and all that. And he goes into, I gotta be honest, I have a wife and 3 kids in Mexico. Okay, cool. Like, you trying to get him over here and all that. Great, now we've established that you got a whole married life and kids. Even better, leave me alone. I'm not here for that either. Came, I said, what time is it in the Matrix? Picked up the phone, it was 10:10. I'm like, on point, like usual. Decided to like wrap it up. He decides like he's like, can I just get a hug? Like, alright. Asked for like 3 hugs. I was like, what am I, like, I've been told my hugs are healing, so like, is that when you're picking up? He's like, yeah, it really is. Like, thanks. I'm like, okay. Here goes the Earth Angels getting taken advantage of. Even though we got superpowers, people are like, oh, let me drain you of it. takes my hand, like, and holds it with both his hands, like, puts my hand in between both of his, and basically was like, you know, be positive, like, have good intentions, blah, 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 to put that out and manifest it. I'm like, alright, that's cool. You know, like I said, everything was the fake illusion of my energy. People just try to take my energy and then try to embody it as a mask, just to act like they're light in front of me so they can get away with stuff. It's truly disgusting, like I said. So we're doing the whole narrative, the whole act here, trying to get on my level, but I'm very intuitive, so I'm staying cautious. Like, yeah, you saying all the right things. I've been around this too many times. 555. It's time to go to sleep. I'm like, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. No, like, you're fine, you can come sleep in the bed. No, I'm truly okay. I'm definitely gonna sleep on the couch. Like, no, like, it's cold. There's, like, no, he only has one heater. So I'm like, it's freezing. No hot water. I'm like, what the of course, I know how to be grateful, but this, I'm like, dang, when you're really out here in the cold and all that, I'm like, it's no different than me being outside. It's still cold. Like, I might have gotten a little water, but, like, come on. It was treachery. But I was just like, I'll sleep out here. And he was like, no, you're fine. Like, you'll be alright. Like, I'm not like that. I was raised different. Still, like, okay. So I'm like, alright. Sleeping here. Like, he's like, you can even put the pillows in between, whatever. And I'm like, alright. So I laid down. We laid down. And he's like, you smell good. I'm like, oh, here we effing go, man. Like, it just never fails with you creepy people. It's like 90%. Oh, at least 90%. It's like, you are walking around like you're normal. I'm like, creep, pedo, creep. Cheater. Like, everywhere. Psychopath, murderer. Just walking around. Like, this is just a psych ward. Everyone's walking around. This is a big psych ward. And this has been normalized. Everyone's just walking around like they're so-called normal and civil. Oh my gosh. Not at all. It's like, when you're awake and you see stuff, and so I'm laying there. He's like, what is that? I'm like, I mean, it could be my lotion. It's like almond vanilla or something. And I just put chapstick on. He's like, oh, it smells really good. And I was like, maybe it's my chapstick, you know. He's like, can I smell it? And he, like, comes up and, like, smells it. I'm like, what the? He's like, yeah, that smells really good. I was like, leave me alone. Another red flag. So, of course, I'm not going to sleep. I'm just like, I'm just laying here like, okay, I got to be real freaking cautious, like I said. And I'm a very light sleeper anyway, so even if I did fall asleep, nice freaking try. I'm going to wake right the F up. And I'm laying there. And yeah, like, after talking and saying that stuff, I, like, kind of went into, like, small conversation to just let it ride off so we could just go to sleep. And I was like, all right, you know, good night, sweet dreams. And then there were, like, cows everywhere, so I was like, outside. So I'm like, good night, cows. And then I just laid there, and, like, probably, like, 15 minutes, I, like, feel him kind of, like, move, and I'm real sensitive to energy, so I felt his energy too close to me, because I'm real protective about my aura, and I was like, alright, my aura's feeling a little claustrophobic. I feel like he's too close to me right now. And sure enough, like, I was like, am I tripping? I thought I felt like something moving, like, kind of by my upper thigh, like my leg. And I was like, I know it's like the blanket. Like, am I tripping? And then my intuition, I was just like, hold on. Like, I know this dude's not trying to freaking do what I think he's doing. Thinking I'm asleep. Like, I will... Whoo! Yeah, so I was like, maybe I'm tripping. So I move a little bit, and then I, like, hear him, like... I'm like, alright, laid there a little bit longer. And then eventually I, like, felt him move, and I could have swore I felt it again. And I was like... And I moved my body, And I look over and I'm like, you're too close to me. And he's like, oh, sorry. And kind of barely moves over. I'm like, all right. So I lay there, still staying awake. I'm not falling asleep. There's no way in Hades I'm falling asleep. So I'm just laying there quiet. Shortly after, again, I feel something. And I'm like, all right. Like, I know. He thinks I'm asleep, trying to touch on me. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, after all this conversation, after you know who I am, what I'm about, you still trying me. And you think I'm asleep. That's a whole... So eventually, I put a little small pillow. I had two like small pillows from the couch. I put one, I put it in the middle. So I put a clear indicator like, motherfucker, sorry. But you trying something like, I put that there as like a clear like, no thank you. And try to put like the extra blanket that I had in the middle too. And I won't even say like 10 minutes went by. And I'm laying there. And I'm kind of like on my back, I guess. And I felt something moving again. And this time I was like, absolutely not. Like, this is like... There's like a point where you get past like pissed off or mad to where I get quiet. Otherwise, like, I'm not violent by any means, but this makes me, if I could like conjure the world's biggest karma. And what are you looking at? Fucking creepy? This dude literally just stopped in the back of my car and was just staring. You see what I'm saying? This is the stuff I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Freaking predators. My gosh. Anywho. Now you know I'm telling the truth. So, what I was about to say is, the final time that I was like, no, this is for sure. He's definitely trying me here. I feel a hand like this right here. I feel it. And I'm like, I said, what the Move, threw his hand off of me, grabbed my phone, grabbed my water bottle, and grabbed my Bob Ross socks that were sitting there because I took them off. Got out of the bed, took the smallest blanket, getting no heat, freaking cold, went on the couch, triggered, like, and all he said was, oh, sorry. The hell? So I'm freezing the whole time, barely, like, I'm not sleeping for real. Ended up, like, getting up, getting ready. Are those cows? Oh, cows! Hi! Oh my gosh, you people are just doing so much stuff here. It's corrupted. Anyways, poor cows. This place is a nightmare. Everywhere I go, I'm like, incorrect. But I got up, got ready. I wasn't trying to see this. I couldn't even look at his way. I heard good morning. I couldn't say nothing. I did not want to look in this dude's direction. I'm triggered. And I'm tired. I'm like, this was the whole point of me coming over here was sleep and shower. And I barely got any of those on top of being violated. Like, this is what makes me triggered, is because if I wasn't awake or aware, where was this gonna go? involuntarily being a part of it. What the ah! He was like, we're getting ready. He's like trying to make little small talk. I got nothing to say, man. Just nothing. I'm like, let me just charge my phone up a little bit. And just, all I got to do is get to my car, get back to my car, and then sayonara, Oh my gosh. So we eventually get in the car. And he also, while I'm there, tells me, make sure my phone's on silent because he doesn't want his wife to know that I'm there. I'm like, this sounds like this is your first time, even though I'm not on that. I'm like, you're too used to doing this. Silence my phone. Like, I get it because then it'll seem like there is something. But I'm like, oh no, because you've done this before. So, okay. Like, whack. So we get in the car eventually. Riding. And his, like, wife FaceTimed him. So he's got to, like, put it up on the dash and face it, like, towards him. And I'm just like, all I wanted to do was tell her he's a piece of shh. But I don't know how to say that in Spanish. I should have looked it up, but I didn't want to get dropped off on the side of the road. So I was like, ooh, you lucky. But eventually, he said, there was something said, and I was just like, yeah, I'm tired. And he's like, you okay? And I'm like, I'm tired. I barely slept. He's like, oh, I thought you slept good. I said, no, absolutely not. I did not. I barely slept. It was cold. And he's like, I said, yeah, like, and you failed. You failed. I trusted you, and you failed. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah. You trying to touch on me while I'm asleep? You thought I was asleep? You kept trying to touch on me? He's like, I don't remember. As if you already didn't trigger me enough. Now you have amnesia. Well, I don't remember doing that. I said, you tried to touch me multiple times, and the final time you put your hand right here on me, and I threw it off, and I said, what the and got up out the bed. I got out the bed, I went to the couch, all that. You don't remember? I don't remember, I'm sorry. I didn't know I did that. I was about ready. I don't even have words for this stuff anymore. Like, you already pissed me off and violated the out of me. Now you want to lie? Bye, cows. I love you. Oh, I hear you. Oh, I'm sorry, human suck. I love you so much. No. So he just, I didn't know, I apologize. Then his wife FaceTimes him. So then, like, after that, amnesia and fake apologizing, like he has no idea. I said, how do you have no idea? No one does that on accident. You're not, in sleep, you're not accidentally touching someone like that and trying to sneak about it. But I'm like, oh, you got saved by your wife FaceTiming you, because I was like, oh, I was triggered. And then we got to the car, and he's just like, do you want me to give you an application? Because we were talking about being out there and doing farm work. I said, no, I'm good. Don't worry about it. I said, and he was going to try to find some smokery so we could just, smoke something, a joint, whatever. And I said, yeah, don't worry about the application. Don't worry about getting the greenery. Just don't worry about it. Like, I'm good. We're good here. And he's like, oh, keep in touch. I'm like, I just got out the car. I've had enough of this. So I got dropped off. And I just was like, before I even start the day, let me just, like I told you, I'm going to keep it real and honest. I be trying to give people chances, and they have no idea, like, God's here, Mother's here. Like, I'm watching and seeing everything you all are doing, and then I got to take the L's of all the consequences and actions that people be doing, because everything leads to the ocean. So in my deep state, the deepest of deeps, I gotta go through this. Scandalous. Like, I'm so glad that I'm okay and that I was protected, and I just felt like I felt angelic presences in the room telling me and feeling like my intuition pretty on point, but like I felt extra energy in the room that was just like, do not fall asleep. You need to stay awake and you need to be cautious. And I did. And I was like, yep, I knew I had backup in the room. I knew I was protected because I was like, yeah, when this stuff was happening, I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, again, it's slow out here dashing. I'm trying to get the out of here. I'm tired of relying on people. I'm tired of people being creepy. I'm tired of just everything here. This is why I didn't do anything with people. This is why I didn't get on social media. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of people. Like, what is the point? You all want to do what you want to do anyway, so... But you all are looking for a miracle out here. Like, who's going to come save us? Absolutely not. My hair, I didn't even get to wash it for real or condition it. That's why it looks like this. But keep it pushing, you know? I just cannot with this world. Like, I cannot have generations. I can't have the children grow up in this. This is absurd. It's unacceptable. They can't grow up in a world like this. No way! No way! I'm going to continue my day, but we got to share the light and dark so-called whatever because this is real. 2222.